Hey guys, this is John, and I'm playing GM Atalik in the 3-minute pool on ICC. I entered both pools and just happened to get a 3-minute game before a 5-minute game. So Atalik is playing the Exchange Slav against me. Let's see if he plays Bishop F4. He does. I'll play this Queen B6 move, which you've seen before on my channel. This is just a move to make them think about the B pawn. Yeah, he correctly does not worry about it. Taking on B2 is possible for black, although I think it's a little bit dangerous. So I'll just develop normal. That move. Alright, let's take it. Play knight c6. So Atalik's going for a slightly simpler position than normal against me. He's a very, very strong GM. What to do? Let's just go e6. I'll probably put my bishop on b4 if I can. I'm trying to remember if I've had this exact position before. I think I have. I think it's familiar to me. If he castles, I might play king e7. Keep my king in the middle. Yeah. Knight a5 is also interesting, but maybe I'll keep knight a5 in reserve. Okay, so he goes knight e5. I think rook f c8 looks fine. He can nab the two bishops now by taking on d7, but this bishop is not very good, so I'm okay with that happening. Bishop e8 would be interesting, just trying to preserve that bishop. Knight a5 makes a lot of sense. Let's go bishop e8. I think I like that one best. Okay, so what's up with that move? He's trying to, I don't know, maybe win my h-pawn or something? Pinning my knight. Okay, I think I'm going to play knight a5. Yeah, let's go knight a5. Attack the b3 pawn. If he plays bishop c2, I might just take on c3, and when he takes back, take with my rook. Oh no, but then my knight would hang. It's probably not good. Okay, how about this move? Seems a little weird, but now my knight's defended, so I might have that threat of capturing on c3. I could also throw in g5 somewhere. Like, maybe now would be a good time to play g5. Just to get rid of the pin. Yeah, let's do that. And I could take and then play knight e4. That's one way of treating the position. Seems simple. Yeah, let's do that. Not sure my dark square bishop was going to be doing much more on that square. So knight e4, I hit the bishop, I hit c3. He'll probably advance his either his b or his c pawn. Advances the c-pawn. So I can throw in f6 if I want to kick his knight back. Yeah, doesn't that just win a pawn for me if I do it? I think so. Has to retreat the knight to d3 or f3, maybe g4. But I can take on c4 now. Let's do that. Do I want to throw in this capture first? I think I probably should. Let's take with the rook now. We'll pre-move that. Rook takes a5 doesn't work because I would have had rook take c1. Oh, I missed that move at the end. Yeah, I missed that move at the end of the line. Well, that's a little unfortunate. So he's going to win my a-pawn. Little bit unfortunate. I'll have to check in the analysis whether I had a way to avoid that. Can I take here? I think I can. I'm attacking his rook. Yeah, rook a4 was a blunder, I believe. I'm also hitting his knight now, which is nice. Let's just take here. Bring our king up just so he can't check. So I'm going to push b5 now. Maybe he can go after my h-pawn. But this pawn will become dangerous soon. Let's just go here.
Check.
Yeah, this pawn can become a runaway train. Let's go here. Attack his bishop. Yeah, he might want to play f3. Oh, this is not a very good move. Now I can defend my pawn at least. I can play b3. He's
Time
going to take
warning.
there. Okay.
Check.
Huh. Not sure what's going on in this position. Now I have 2 passed pawns. Oh yeah, 2 passed pawns should be good here. Let's cut off his king just so he can't play king f3. I'm winning now. I'm definitely winning this now. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, this is a win. One of these pawns is going to queen. And I have enough time. I think he's going to resign.
Check. Check.
Okay, let's just queen.
Check. Check.
Block with this guy. Okay. So I won. I'm on a little bit of a winning streak against Atalik. Let's have a quick look. So he played the Exchange Slav, and a lot of people played bishop f4 prior to developing the knight in the Exchange Slav. So I like playing queen b6 here. I don't always play queen b6, like sometimes I'll play knight c6, but often I do. Because I think it's a good way to highlight the drawback of this last move, which is the fact that b2 is loose now. So, like I said, it's possible for him to take here, but after rook c1, I think white gets pretty decent compensation. Is it rook c1 or knight ge2? I can't remember. But I don't really take that pawn. I like bishop d7. It kind of keeps an eye on the b5 square. One pattern of development black can employ is, let's say something like knight f3 is played or bishop d3. They can go bishop c6 and then try to stick this knight on d7. It's a common method to complete development for black. So bishop d7, I don't think queen b3 is particularly good, personally. Take, bring the knight out. I mean, he has compromised pawns on this wing, and knight b5 is possible, but it doesn't hurt me. I think I can play e5 here, trying to get bishop b4 check in, even though it might lose a pawn. Or I can just play a safe move like rook c8, addressing the threat of knight c7. And if he were to take here, that would be a mistake because I can go back. Yeah, I've had this exact position before in a game from a couple years ago. And in that game as well, that I had played previously, I remember keeping my king in the center and my opponent had castled kingside. And then doing something very similar I did, like play rook hc8. And I think black is doing great here. I'm going to have a slightly better pawn structure. This knight a5 idea is on tap right now. So I think this is great. Let's see what the engine thinks about this position. It says it's roughly equal. It suggests knight a2, trying to back the dark square bishop off. And then, yeah, swapping or somehow simplifying. Yeah, I think black is very slightly for choice here. I really do. So, here, bishop e8. Probably needs a better plan right around here. Maybe that knight a2 move, just so I can't easily get in knight a5. So here I played h6. Yeah, now knight a5. And let's see what the computer thinks, but... You know, bishop c2 and now g5 would have been good. Forgot I had played b6, because I would have loved to win a pawn like so, but my knight hangs. So that was the point of b6, just reinforcing the knight. But the immediate g5 is even better, huh? g5 here, and then knight h5, go after the bishop pair. Okay. Yeah. And then I can play f6 whenever I want and try to kick back that knight. Yeah, I could see why black would be better here. Definitely. But I did this, and I think his next move is inaccurate. Bishop d1. Computer suggests f3. Okay. So f3 keeps a piece out of e4. My knight out of e4. And if I try to win a pawn, what happens? Bishop e1. Oh, that's clever. That's another point of f3. X-raying my knight on a5. with the bishop. That's very clever. Yeah. Well, f3 makes sense in general, but that bishop e1 idea, that resource, that really tips the scales in favor of that move. It's nice. So here, g5, and now, okay, I'm going to shut off the engine because I want to think for a second about how I could have played this better. Because I really thought I was going to be winning a pawn coming up here, but it didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. So I took on c3, he took back with the pawn, and then I got knight e4 in, and then he advanced c4. It's very annoying that I can't win a pawn in this scenario, if that's actually the case. I played f6. I mean, this seems good. Kicks his knight back with no penalty. He did retreat. So the whole thing is like the rook on a8 at the end when he has bishop f3. How do I get around that? I mean, I could take on c4 immediately and leave this knight here. Let's say take with the rook again. He takes, we take. Bishop f3. Maybe now I have this move. That's a convenient move. That looks like an improvement. Yeah, I think I like that line. Let's take a quick look. D takes, B takes, rook takes. Yep, so the engine suggests keeping this knight here, blocking the diagonal. Yeah, and bishop f3. Okay, that makes more sense, so I can't easily get this in. But now bishop g6, reinforce the knight. Yeah, it appears like black is just up a clear pawn. So my move order was slightly inaccurate. Taking here, yep. Eval jumps back to equal. Yeah, rook d8
Check.
here. And he probably should either swap or maybe go all the way back to a1, I was thinking. See, the engine likes rook a8. This was just an oversight. Rook takes d4, and now white's in big, big trouble. Yeah, here, take on d3. The only trouble was I was getting into some time pressure at this point. I think this position should be winning for black. He goes after my h-pawn, but that's a very time-consuming proposition. Oh, and it looks like I could have just ran the b-pawn, huh? Probably going to cost him a bishop soon. Rook f8. King c7, stop his rook from coming over. Rook a8, b2.
Check.
Rook a7 check, king d6, rook b7, rook d2. Yeah, and I bet this pawn will cost him something major soon. So I tried to defend my f-pawn, though. It's probably a more human way to play it. So f5, he went g4, I took, he went here.
Check.
It does feel like this is close to winning. I think I messed up, though. Or was it? Is it right here? I thought he could just play rook b8. Yeah, he did play rook b8. Okay. And now here he should take on b4. Right. Because after I take on f2, then he can take on g4. And the engine thinks I'm very slightly better, but he's reduced the position to 2 pawns each symmetrically on this area of the board, and this should be a draw. Yeah. I'm sure in retrospect he would have seized the opportunity to eliminate my b-pawn. But he did that. I don't know, maybe he forgot I could play rook b2. And now again the position is difficult for him. Bishop c4 would have been a good move. Okay, yeah, not even taking the e4 pawn, because this bishop is out of play now. It can't really assist very easily in defending the advance of my pawn. I just instinctively took. Maybe
Check.
this endgame's, I don't know, potentially savable for him. I'm not going to exhaustively analyze it right now, but he needs to be able to eliminate both of these pawns. And even if he loses his rook for the b-pawn, he'll have good drawing chances based on the connectors. Engine thinks g4 would have been a good move here. What did he play, f4? Yeah, that was a bad move, allowing me another pass pawn. Right, so if he doesn't give me this second pass pawn, then his chances to win are, or his chances to draw are pretty good. And I think this was a nice move, rook f2. Because if I play this, then king f3 will complicate my task. Because if e2, he can get his king involved in the defense. I see that the engine thinks this is just winning. Not surprising, but rook f2 is much tidier. This is like my game against the standard game against Pocket Monster last week, where I played a move, and that game was rook e3 to cut off his king, and the opponent's king couldn't assist in defending against the advance of the passed pawns. So same concept here. Yeah, these pawns are too dangerous, and his are not far enough. It's just winning for black.
Check. Check.
Just had to avoid some
Check.
checks or
Check.
whatnot. And queen e8.
Check.
Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this game against Grandmaster Suat Atalik, and I'll be back tomorrow with another Blitz game. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy your weekend.